Okay, so I get a lot of questions via email and messages through YouTube and stuff. Um, I have done for many years, and a lot of it is the same questions being asked. So I'm going to try and go through a few of them. I've just picked out 7, just to make it easier and just to save me keep replying, saying the same thing all the time, because I ain't got loads of time to do all this. So I'm just going to do this now. So I've just made a short list of 7 on this one. That's quite relevant. A couple of them are more talking points where I get asked for my opinion, and others are like direct questions. So I'm doing this on the phone, and I've only got so much memory on the phone, so I have to record a little bit and then stop it and then put it on the laptop and then delete that last file, because I don't want to delete important files that are on it. So if you're noticing a stop start, then that's all it is. Okay, so the first one, can I have a job? Can I come and work for you? I get that a lot, and the answer is no, because I'm not looking to hire anybody and I'm not looking to train anybody. I'm a small company. There's just me, and I'll hire subcontractors when I need them. I'm not looking to grow at the moment. I'm quite happy the way things are. Yeah, and for the foreseeable future, that's the way it's going to stay. And what I should say as well is that on that note, if you're going for a job, and I'm not talking the guy who watch. If you're the guy who called me from Calgary and you're watching this is not aimed at you, mate, because I'm not talking to you on the phone and you were all right. But in general, if you're going, if you're asking somebody for a job, it's probably better to kind of sell yourself on the point of what you can bring to the company, not what you can take from it. I get there's always great emphasis on how much they can learn from me, not and that's it. Like, what a great opportunity it'll be for them, people, through these emails. I could learn so much, I could do this, I could do that, like I'm some sort of bridge to success, to becoming a more accomplished tree worker. Nobody's ever said to me, look, I can make money for you, just give me a chance. Not one single person has ever said that. And you go a long way, or a lot further, with that kind of attitude. I don't know when the thinking was or came about that suddenly the tail wags the dog, but it's really not the case. And if you're approaching employers, telling them what they can do for you, I don't fancy your chances of success. Anyway, I'll move on. Will I be as good as you if I put in all the years of practice and training and everything else? No, the answer is no. You'll never be as good as me. Not a fucking chance in a million. Okay, that was an easy one. Move on. Anxiety. I get this a lot, especially with climbers who are just starting out. They get very anxious climbing, working at height. They think there's something wrong with them. They think they shouldn't be experiencing that level of anxiety, as other people are coping better than they are. Are they wasting the time? Have they got what it takes? Are they missing something? And yeah, I think you can definitely overcome it, because I did. I was very, very anxious about working at heights and stuff, and climbing out on branches with nothing below me, and it took like a lot of determination. It didn't take that long, but it took a lot of determination. It's so long ago now, it's hard to remember, but I remember thinking many a time, like, when I was just learning, thinking, there's something wrong with me. I shouldn't be feeling what I'm feeling now. I should be getting used to this. I shouldn't be having to push myself through this terror, like I'm having to. And but as things turned out, it got better with repetition. I just kept on getting back up on the horse, so to speak, and kept on pushing myself some really uncomfortable situations. And then it gradually got easier, and so if I can do it, then you can definitely do it, because I don't believe, because I used to, from about 15, not many people know this, but from about sort of 14, 15, I started suffering from really bad kind of panic attacks. I don't know what started it all, and it dragged on for years, and it's a very hard thing to explain to someone unless they've actually had it. And there was no warning, there was no reason for them to come on, but they would come on like that, and it's like you become somebody else, and it's just the weirdest feeling ever. And this would sometimes come on at work when I was climbing, which made it 10 times worse. To get through a task and pretend everything was okay. Almost as bad as that was the apprehension that I was going to have one of these attacks. So I came through it, and I'm all right. They gradually faded away when I got into me sort of late 20s, but or maybe a bit after that. Though they got less, they'd sort of turned into something else. They turned into a bit of depression, I think, after that. And they just come on like a bad headache. No warning at all, no build up. It just boom, like that. So yeah, anxiety, you can definitely overcome it, but you have to keep on trying and never be defeated. There's going to be situations where you might just get down and say, I gotta stop, or whatever, but you can overcome it. I'm telling you now, anybody can. Okay, I'm going to stop this. Okay, back again. Do I miss the UK? Yeah, I do. I miss things about it. I miss people and places that I used to go. I have a lot of memories there. I have memories of other countries too, but obviously I spent more time in the UK than anywhere else. I miss parts of the culture. But there's some stuff that I don't miss either, and I've kind of, I've moved on. Canada is where I live now. That I don't like everything about it, but I certainly feel a lot safer here, and I feel a greater sense of freedom here too. Not so much in the realms of society, but just actual freedom where you can take off and see nobody. So yeah, that's the answer to that one. Are you going to do a video with August or Billy Ray, or both? Yeah, at some point, probably. I speak to, we sort of text each other a little bit. August is across the sea in Oregon, and Billy Ray is not that far away. He's kind of only about an hour and a half drive from here. So it seems mad that we haven't actually met up, but he's busy and I'm busy, and we got our equal and own responsibilities doing what we're doing, but at some point maybe I'll have a ride up to see Bill nearer to Christmas time, when work slackens off a bit. Me and August were just talking sort of today by text message about maybe doing something, but at some point, I'm sure it'll happen. Stop that again. Okay, recreational climbing, the merits of it. Recreational climbing, I suppose you could put that into two categories. You've got the recreational climbing, tree climbing, where people go out and climb trees just to climb about, use new gear, climb great big trees that they would otherwise never get to work on, perhaps. And then there's the other type, the competition climbing. I mean, if any physical exercise, I think is good. If there's some, if I suppose the opportunity as well to practice things and then bring them into the workplace is good, if time allowing. It's a good. It can be a good social event, I suppose. Good means of getting together. The competition climbing thing, I suppose, it has its place. I've been to two competitions. The first one was probably the most fucking boring 15 minutes I've ever had on one of them, and I left after 15 minutes. That's all I got to see of it. It was so badly organised, and I didn't know what I was even watching. It was just fucking ridiculous. So I was there with my daughter and we just walked off. And then the only other one I went to was a few, I think it was only 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago, here in Victoria in the summer, and that was alright. I wasn't involved, but I was I knew a few people there, and I was watching a few people that I knew who were actually competing, and I was kind of, I was pleased when they did well. So that was all right, and it was a nice sort of social gathering, it seemed. So, is there any? But you got to put it in perspective. I don't think a lot of that. You don't go to climbing competitions and then become a great climbing arborist, tree worker, tree cutter, tree topper. It's more the other way around. You might be able to take some stuff from a work site and transition that into a tree climbing competition, because there's a big difference between obviously climbing around a tree with no weight on you on a nice sunny day, ringing bells for 20 minutes or whatever, or performing a series of tasks in short time periods, as opposed to working on a site under pressure where you might be up a tree for 6 hours without a break, and it's totally different, using saws and rigging and bringing down huge sections of tree as opposed to ding ding ding, you know what I mean? It's totally different. And anyway, so I've got nothing against it, and if you want to get involved with that, why not? But just keep it in perspective. That they're not, you climb, by no means be misled into thinking that people you see in climbing competitions are any kind of elite climbers, because they're not. They might be good at recreational climbing, but there's a big difference between that and production tree work. I remember the first competition climber that I saw once on a site. He was on one of our sites, and he had a lot of fancy gear I'd never seen before, and he was spurring about. We like to do some climbing, and he was taking this tree down, and he moved pretty well, I have to say. And he was on spurs, and you could hear his spurs going around this tree, going like on the branches. And I fucking swear he was taking small steps on purpose, so it sounded like he was going faster. So we could hear his, and but at the same point there was fuck all coming down. And you can hear his saw going, and there's like a few fucking branches coming down now and then. You could hear his spurs going from A to fucking B. And after a bit, it was like, this fucking cunt. You know what I mean? He's going to have to come down if he doesn't start getting on with it. We're not fucking pruning the tree, you know. So, I mean, perhaps that was an extreme example, you know, of some delusional individual that thought he was going to walk onto a work site and everybody was going to be fucking clapping, you know what I mean? But anyway, competition climbing, great if you're into it. You might meet some nice people, you might do some networking, and you might have an afternoon somewhere, but keep it in context. Okay, stop. Okay, I've moved into the workshop because I've got company now up there, so yeah, it would be too much of a distraction. So the last but not least, probably not going to win any friends with this one. It's more of a statement I keep hearing as opposed to a direct question, and it is the statement goes something like, we need more women in tree service or tree work or arboriculture or something like that. Yeah, I keep hearing this echoed around by certain factions. Yeah, it's funny, like, you know, coming up to 30 years now of doing tree work, and I must have worked for tens of thousands of clients, half of which would have been women, and never ever has one of them said to me, you need more women on this site, or you need a woman on this site. They've never said that, never even hinted at it. And I've worked with my share of female arborists, and they have never said that either. They've never said we need more women on the site. I can't say I know what they were thinking. They may have been thinking that, but they never said it. And you know, they seemed quite comfortable and content on any job site I've been on, even with me there. So I wonder what is the agenda behind this ridiculous statement. You know, because we need more women. I think about it, I'm like, well, I don't need one because I'm managing just fine. I don't think there's anything missing from our work site, our work environment, that a woman could bring. There's nothing really missing as far as I can see. You know, I'm a small business. Whether I use employees or self-employed people, I'm going to pick the strongest candidates. You know, equal opportunity doesn't come into it. I pick the strongest candidates, and in a job that's predominantly physical, you know, to kind of summarize it, you're taking material from here, bringing it to here, and then taking it away in some shape or form. There's a lot of physical work involved, and you know, I'm not a community service. It's not a social event. Like, I'm running a business. I have to make money to survive, otherwise the business won't survive and I'll have no business. So I picked the strongest candidate. I don't know if you saw the big fur removal we did just the other day, but who do you think I used on that? I used two fucking strong cunts to help me with it, you know what I mean, who could pick up massive logs and drag a huge amount of brush, that can just work relentlessly through any kind of pain and discomfort, and it's just totally normal to them. You know, they've both got healthy egos, which I encourage. I know a lot of people try and dissuade that. A lot of naive, ideological people try and dissuade that, but it happens to be, like, you know, a huge source of incentive for some people. Do you know what I mean? It can inspire people, because every kind of work environment, there exists like competitiveness, because people are trying to climb the ladder, they're trying to climb the hierarchy in one sense or another. So so in tree work, it's a very physical job. yeah, there's a lot of chest beating goes on, there's egos involved. Do you know what I mean? There's people competing against each other in a very physical sense. There's healthy respect there as well. And also, I should say, you can also earn respect just with effort alone. But at the end of the day, you have to be able to perform to meet and exceed expectations, often is the situation, and not expect to be thanked or patted on the back or encouraged or empowered. That fucking word empowered is just the most annoying word. It's another context that it keeps getting put in. We need to empower women. They don't need empowering, and they don't need some fucking white knight arborist climbing feminist men empowering them, because that in itself, I think, is very patronizing. Women make up their own mind. They probably the reason why there's perhaps not so many doing tree work is because they look outside, they look at some clown fucking carrying logs out in the pissing rain and think, fuck that, I'm not doing that. I'm going to use my brain and work in a much warmer, safer environment. It just so happens that different things appeal to men than what appeal to women. And that's just who we are. We're different, and there's nothing wrong with being different. This shit about trying to make us all the same, it's fucking ridiculous ideology. So yeah, that's where I stand on it. If you're a woman and you want to do tree work, well, good for you, but don't expect any special treatment. You're going to have to work really hard, and people will respect you, but you have to fit in with them more than they have to fit in with you. That is the same as anybody going and breaking into a new job or a new industry, and there are fucking dickheads on both sexes. You know what I mean? Don't tell me there's no catty and bitchiness and ruthlessness goes on in office environments as well. It's competitive wherever you are nowadays, if there's a ladder that can be climbed. Do you know what I mean? So, but I'd say, yeah, if you want to give tree work a go, good for you. But do it because you want to do it, and just know what you're getting into. Don't believe this rosy fantasy about it's all about climbing and swinging around in the trees and fucking one with nature and all that shit, because it isn't. Most of it is hard work. It's carrying fucking heavy logs. It's climbing dangerous trees. Unless you find your way into something like a municipal job or working for a big corporation where they've got tons of money, they've got guaranteed work and contracts and everything else, and a huge pot to dig into, where they can kind of allocate and distribute people easier. But working for a business, that is perhaps only 2 weeks away from bankruptcy, if things go wrong, then it's just not that cut and dry. Equal opportunity, there's no such thing. You've got to really excel and prove yourself every single day. So, well, with that, I'm out because I'm out of time. Thanks for listening. Okay, sorry, there's one more. I've deleted a file that I thought I'd saved. I had deleted it, in fact, without saving it. Foolish that I am. So it's training, on-site training versus a more official training where you get sent away somewhere for a day or 2 days or a week or so. So to keep things simple, let's assume that the trainers are of equal pedigree, experience, exposure, maturity, everything else. So I would favour on-site training because it's more personal, it's not in a group, and your trainer, be your supervisor or boss or foreman, gets to know you better. He gets to learn your strengths, weaknesses, your limitations, how you deal with stress in different situations, which would be difficult for a trainer to do as just a syllabus to get through. Whilst on site, you're actually working. You're working under time constraints because you have to make money still. So he's going to cut out a lot of the shit that you don't need to know and just teach you what you do need to know to be safe and productive. He's going to show you the best methods. You know, there might be 5 different ways of taking that tree down, let's say in the initial estimate stage, but perhaps there's only one way that's going to give you an advantage over your competitors, and it's going to win you the job, so to speak, because you can come in at the right price. Training organisation isn't really going to look at it like that. They're going to be sort of filling their week or so with just filling your head with information, a big part of which probably isn't going to be relevant at all. So that's just where I would edge my bets anyway. And you know, training organisation, they're a business themselves, so it's their sort of business to keep training you and keep you coming back and keep other people coming back so they can generate money, but in a different sense, you know. So I doubt they're going to tell you everything that they know, so to speak. So yeah, I better leave it at that. Thanks for watching. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. If I offended anybody, then that's just the reality of it. That's who I am. I can't make any apologies for telling the truth about how I feel about things. Okay. Cheers.